Exotics, the good, the bad, and the downright terrible. Today we're going through the top 5 worst exotics, Warlock edition. Coming in at number 5, we have the Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Now, this exotic used to be insane, allowing you to essentially chain Nova Bombs as long as you were able to kill even just a small group of enemies with it. And with the Slover Bomb, it made it even easier because of its tracking. Then came the big nerf. The nerf capped the amount of energy you could gain from the skull and lowered the energy gained entirely. This basically brought the exotic to its knees. It was just easier to use Nezarec's Sin and gain energy with Void Weaponry, and that just made the exotic better since you could continually gain ability energy rather than just super energy from your super kills. On to number 4, we have the Storm Dancer's Brace. Now, the Storm Dancer's Brace did get a buff, yes, but it simply wasn't enough to boost the damage of Tickle Fingers enough. The exotic perk Ascending Amplitude reads: each target you defeat with Storm Trance increases the damage you deal with it, and it refunds super energy when Storm Trance ends. The few issues with Storm Trance is it's already fairly weak, and the other problem is Chaos Reach is just so insanely powerful when compared to a fully buffed Storm Trance. So Storm Dancer's Brace gives a 10% buff for every kill up to 10 stacks, so that's 100% extra damage. But because it's a roaming super, it's really made for ad clear, and the buff from Storm Dancers doesn't do much since there are just better ways of ad clear. The refund aspect is capped at 50%, and the comparable exotic for Chaos Reach is Geomag Stabilizers, which again is just so much better than Storm Dancer's Brace, it's not really worth the exotic slot in my opinion, and that's why it gets the number 4 spot. In the top 3 now, taking away the bronze medal is the Sanguine Alchemy. Now on paper, this sounds like a sick exotic. The exotic perk Blood Magic reads: gain a bonus to weapons with a damage type matching your subclass damage type. Weapon final blows while standing in the rift pause the rift's countdown, extending its duration. Now again, that sounds great until you break it down in practice. The damage boost being received is the same as 2 surge mods. It also doesn't stack with those surges. The rift timer can be extended infinitely, but it does also require you to stand basically still within the rift, which makes the exotic pretty underwhelming because of all of its downsides. When you are using this, if you're in a fire team, they can steal your kills and prevent you from being able to keep your rift alive. If the exotic did something like extend the rift's range or increase the power of the rift's effects, I could see it being way stronger and a use case for the Sanguine Alchemy. But at this point in time, it's just not worth using. Now taking the number 2 spot, we have the Promethium Spur. Now the Promethium Spur is such a bad exotic for a number of reasons. One is no one really uses Daybreak, so the exotic perk of creating rifts at a target's location while it's active seems a bit wasted. On top of that, spawning a rift at the target's location when they die still requires you to go out into the field and stand in that rift to take advantage of it. In any sort of reasonably difficult content, it's simply not possible to do. It also has the effect to spawn healing and empowering rifts when you kill them while standing in a rift. This does consume class ability energy charge though. To offset this, kills do supply class energy ranging from 9% for a tier 1 miner like a Thrall and 50% for a boss. But you don't get this bonus while you're standing in a rift, which doesn't make any sense since the entire exotic's playstyle has you standing in rifts. So because its synergy simply doesn't make sense and it puts you in more danger than it gets you out of, the Promethium Spur has the silver medal. And for the gold medal, the worst Warlock exotic in the game, it has to go to the Apotheosis Veil. The Apotheosis Veil is the most underwhelming exotic armor perk in the game. Insatiable reads immediately regenerate health, melee, grenade, and rift energy upon activating your super. Nearby allies recharge class abilities faster, which just doesn't do enough. Rarely will you take full advantage of recharging all of these abilities at once, and more importantly, it only triggers when you're using the super. Other exotics like the Eye of Another World or Nezarec's Sin can simply boost the recharge rate of these abilities by getting kills. Eye of Another World, you don't even need kills. You'll be able to chain far more abilities with those than Apotheosis Veil. I really do hope in the next exotic rework it gets a change, but at the moment, this thing deserves no love. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like or even a cheeky sub. To connect with me, my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord are all in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you on stream.